Hello everyone, it's Dre from DreInTheKitchen.com, and today one of the things this is a question I've been asked ever since even my days of being in college. How do you make white rice? So it's a staple in many cultures, and different cultures make it differently. So for me, this was, I have to tell you, the hardest dish to learn. And then once I learned it, I figured out a way and method to make it super simple and easy so that everyone and anyone can make really good fluffy rice. So let's get started. Now, before the comments start coming in, don't come at me, but I am not using a traditional caldero to make the rice. I'm just using a non-stick pot that's been very good to me for a very long time. So trust me, just come on the journey with me. Here we go, it's nice and hot. To this, I'm gonna add 2 to 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. This is a debate my sister and I have. She does not like to use extra virgin olive oil. She thinks that's sacrilegious. I actually prefer the flavor, so I'm doing it that way. To that, obviously, how do you know if your oil is hot? You don't want it to smoke. That's one thing you don't want. But if it starts to get glossy and you see little waves in the pot, you're pretty ready. To this, I'm gonna add 3 cups. This is another debate. Some of you, okay, just tell me your thoughts in the comments. It's okay, it's all good. I don't wash my rice. If I do see some unsightly kernels, I do remove them. But I have stopped washing my rice many moons ago. So that is 3 cups of rice. Oh, hang on, we need a spoon. That would help. And then we're gonna stir this. Oh, you hear the sizzle? That's exactly what you kind of want. I'm stirring it just to coat all the granules, all the rice in the oil. Hear it? Do you hear that? That's the kind of sound that you want. So what it's doing, it's gonna now toast just a little bit. So I let this go for probably about, I'd say about a minute. Just so that's how you develop this gorgeous crust on the bottom. For us, we call it pegao. So if you're using an aluminum pot or even whatever your preference is, pegao gets created very easily in the aluminums. Here, this is why I let it sit for about a minute or 2. You don't want it to burn, but you want it to just develop that beautiful crust on the bottom, and I promise you're gonna love it. Now, I went ahead and measured out. So this is 3 cups of rice. I'm adding in about 4 1/4 to 4 1/2 cups of water. That is all you're gonna need. To that, I will add 1 teaspoon of sea salt, and then go ahead and taste your rice. If you feel it needs a little more salt, then don't be afraid. Go ahead and add it, because it makes a world of a difference. You want it to be to your liking. I know how I like it, so I can tell just by the taste of when it's ready. I think that's plenty of time. Let's go ahead and add our water. So thankfully, my Ninja also serves as my measuring cup. Let that come to a boil. Before I stir it, I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of sea salt. We can come back in a few moments. We're gonna stir this up. So the secret, so everyone asks, so how does it come out fluffy? Do you cover it? Do you not cover it? Listen, I've learned all sorts of different ways of making this. And what I've learned just by doing this over and over and over is once it comes to a boil, we're gonna reduce it. You wanna evaporate the water. Hang on, let me just stir. And now I'm gonna leave it alone. I am gonna taste the water to see if it needs a little more salt. This is the perfect time to do it. It needs a little more salt. Every salt is different. You want to make sure that it's just beautifully seasoned. So my grandmother, so I added 1 more teaspoon in there. My grandma, we used to love to just eat the white rice as kids. Like literally, just give us a bowl of white rice. So I developed that flavor, and that's why you have to put just the right amount of salt. This is the new sea salt I'm using, and it's not as salty as some of the ones I have at home. Let me just rinse off my spoon. I don't want y'all to call me crazy, but you know, gotta have the clean spoons. We'll taste again. It's starting to come to a boil. And now we wait. So now that the water is reduced, I have it, if you can see, it's a little high here, but now that it's reduced, I'm gonna go ahead and lower it down to maybe between 2 and 3 here. So I'd say a pretty low heat. We're gonna cover it, set your timer to 28 minutes, and I'll see you when it's ready. So 28 minutes are up, and I'm super excited. So before I do that, I usually take a fork. If you have a larger fork, it'll work, just to fluff it up. It's almost like you want to scrape, look at that. Oh, it smells like yummy, oh my goodness. So what I do is I just literally take the fork, and you fluff it. That way it doesn't break it, it doesn't. And if you need to leave it a few minutes longer to your liking, by all means. But this is the great basic and foundation for white rice. Look at that, it's so fluffy. So of course, now I gotta taste a little taste, right? So it's very, very hot, but whatever, I'm used to touching hot foods. Don't do what I do at home, please. Let it cool down. Wow, okay, that's gonna be delicious. You can make this with whatever you want. You can have it with beans, you can have it with rice. I know growing up I used to have it with fried eggs. It's something that I grew up with. Don't judge. We still love it. Something with a little hot sauce, oh my goodness, it's like you're in heaven. So that is the foundation, the basics. I hope you make this at home. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts when you make this, and I can't wait to you join us again for another episode.